Mantra is very much like developing your own AI. So in this video, I'm going to be, describing mantra from this perspective since we have AI, and now it'll be much easier to understand and to remove a lot of the mystery behind, mantra itself, so that you got a better understanding of it. So for those of you who like the contents of my video, please remember to press like and subscribe if you haven't already. This will greatly help my channel to be able to reach out to more people, and drop a comment because I would love to hear from you, and share it with your favorite social media channel. That will be a super duper great help. For those of you who don't know me, I am Osman, hashtag the blind Muslim yogi. I am a bioenergy healer on a master level with telepathic healing capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher. I've been practicing this art form for almost 50 years and teaching for now 46 years. In that period, I've studied under many great masters from different schools of thought from different cultures and across the globe, from the Far East, the Middle East, the West, including the scientific communities. In that period, I've also, created my own unique protocols, basically adapting them for the 21st century, making them easier, quicker, faster, more time efficient, and results oriented. To that end, I now have students in over 100 countries. My favorite protocol is my 5-minute yoga and meditation program, which you can download for free by visiting my website, yogawellness786.com. Please remember, my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So, what is the comparison between mantra and AI? So, you get different types of AI, right? You get a note taking AI, you get certain AI that is designed mainly for accounting software. Then you get certain AI that is a large language models, that has got a large database of knowledge, like a walking, talking Google. Then you get certain AI that are designed more for blind people. Then you can create your own AI as well. So you can, if you don't even have to know programming anymore. You just get the right platform, and you can follow the guidance of some of your large language models on how to build your own AI. And you can create your own bespoke type of AI that can create the specific functions that you want. And actually, to create your own avatar can take as little as 10 minutes, right? If if you got the right guidance, right? So you can create something, that is more custom designed for your own requirements. So you don't have to have like 1,000 different AIs. You have one AI can do all the functions that you specifically want, right? So this technology is there, and I'm busy designing my own AI as well and creating it. And I'm blind, right? And I'm 57 years old. And I despise the people who start, generalizing people from this generation and that generation and this thing. I'm from which generation? We didn't even have telephones, right? We didn't even have television when we were going to school, right? We used to entertain each other by telling stories, and we used to have plays with us and our cousins, to like a drama for people to watch. And if we wanted to listen to something, we used to listen to the radio serials, right? To a program normally on a Friday or a certain day, we listen to this special program, like a story, like on radio, right? And there was no television invented yet, in my country at that time, right? I'm coming from those days, and I'm busy building my own, and I'm blind, right? So don't generalize. I don't like people generalizing this generation and that generation. So even the new generation, they don't know how to. They do. I didn't learn code. I don't know coding and all that, right? So I didn't even know how to switch a computer on, but I purchased a computer, I learned it, and I learned how to put it apart and put it back together and fix it, troubleshoot it, put software and specialize. And when I bought a business or started a business fixing computers, I didn't know anything about fixing computers. And when technicians didn't come, I quickly had to self-teach myself, how to fix computers, right? So, it's not that I was born with a special technical ability and so forth, but people learn and people can this thing. So coming to the mantras, So mantras are very much like out of necessity. You need certain things. So theoretically, there should be at least a minimum of 33 million yogic mantras. There are about thousands of years old, right? At least over 1,000 years old and so forth, going back 4 to 5 thousand years. So because there's 33 million, gods, right? So it's the word gods is really a deceptive word. The English language is very deceptive. They don't say the supreme God, right? What we say gods, 33 million gods. They call devas or like fairies, right? Or like angels, right? So there is an equivalent word, right? Devis and devas or devatas, and there's so many terminologies, right, in Sanskrit. But there is not the supreme creator, Parabrahman or Brahman, right? Is different, right? So they didn't say there's 33 million Brahmins, right? Brahman meaning our translation God, but 33 million devatas, right? Or they still use that common word gods, right? So it means forms. 33 million forms or yantras coming from Tantra, Yantra, Mantra, right? So Tantra, Tantra is technique, a technique of reciting mantras, and that mantra is a special combination of alphabets that doesn't have any specific meaning, right? Attributed to it like an English language, that the word has got certain meaning, but it's got a certain vibration. The sound vibration combination has been put together specifically, and that vibration will create a yantra or a form which you will be able to see, and they create like a statue to give you a more or less, or a picture, a painting, what it's going to more or less look like. And then when you recite the correct way, you're going to physically see the real form of that mantra when you learn the correct technique or the correct tantra and the rules and regulations you follow. That is tantra. You follow those rules and regulations and recite it, then you're going to see the form. So some people can see it in a day, some people can do it in 10 days, some people can do it in 3 years, some people the whole life they cannot see it, right? So depending, they say, according to their rules of tantra and theoretically, right, because they believe in reincarnation, and this is not confirmed nor denied in the Judeo-Christian religions, just that scholars deny it, but never come and outward and say no such thing as reincarnation, right? So they misinterpret, for example, in the Quran, they misinterpret, you know, the there's a verse, that they misinterpret in Surah Mukminun, verses number 99 to 100, that when the person died, that he wants to come back, they said, no, there's no way you can come back. Means no rebirth for that person who died, right? But who is that person that died? You have to see in which chapter, the believer. So for the believer, those who take the attestation, whether a Christian or a Jewish or a Muslim, in that particular faith, they say, if you get baptized, you are saved, there's no more, you won't be born again. You guarantee the kingdom of heaven, right? So for the Muslims, they go to this place called the Barzakh, right? Because they are Muslim, right? Because they took the Shahada or the oath. So there's no, they are saved, right? All Muslims know that if you just take that, you are saved, right? But they're not going into too much, in depth and detail. So let's come back to mantra. So the theory is that depending on how much of sadhana you practice in your past births and all that, right? So I use the word theoretically because I don't want to get into a big argument, with my colleagues and so forth, because I can't, I have to be pluralistic. And myself, I'm a Muslim. And I'm not going to go against, make a statement and say, oh, I believe in reincarnation or I don't believe in reincarnation, right? God no, we will. Well, who knows what's we know what's true and what true, and who am I to say what's true and what not true, right? So I'm just stating that there's a lot of qualifications, for this, but I believe I can teach the method for people to see the deity. I believe so. Whoever I taught to see, they didn't fail to see the deity, right? So I think the people don't know the method to teach, right? And I believe I know. So just the amount of time can vary, but it's not going to take an unreasonably long time, right? Maybe, like 10 days with some people, 3 to 6 months in other people. I don't think more than 12 months, right? I don't think so. If you follow my rules and regulations, I think within 2 to 3 months, right, you should be able to see. This is physically see with your open eyes, right? So other people, of course, will not be because it opens up your third eye. You see it through your inner eye, right? Your mind's eye, so to speak, right? And you by continuously reciting it, you give it form, right? So each mantra gives rise to that particular form. When you see the form, because you must see the form, right? In order to know that now the power of the mantra is working in you, or you see the effects of that mantra already acting in your life, right? So this is supposed to start, quite soon, if you're following the rules and doing it correctly, and you got the correct mantra. So now to get a mantra is not very difficult, right? So you can go online and get some, really powerful mantras, right? And they highly recommend not to practice these because they are very heavy side effects, right? So we give you that warning because some of these things is not joking, because it can be life threatening, right? I know people who died, right, playing around because they thought they very clever. Most people, yeah, clever spark, try the wrong mantra and bear the consequences, right? First, find out everything from all the angles. What's the pluses? What's the minuses? What the do's? What the don'ts? Before you go, if you don't believe and you want to do it and see, welcome, my brother. Do it and see, right? And hopefully it doesn't work that you don't have the power of it. But if by some chance you gain the power of it, it's not easy to get the power of it. That's why you're going to do from now to kingdom come, nothing will happen to you, neither positive nor negative. But if by some chance you unlock its power and you do the wrong things, life threatening, right? These things are not playing games. You're dealing with higher frequencies, right? And I've got experience in this field. So, how is this representing, like, same as AI mantra? So, just like you have a different AI, note taker AI, so there's Note LM, the latest AI from Google, right? It's amazing AI and it's free, right? And I wish you can try it. And of course, there's Gemini, there's Microsoft Copilot, there's ChatGPT. ChatGPT is absolutely task or many tasks it can do, right? It can do coding. Coding, I believe some of my coding friends says Gemini is absolutely amazing in coding, right? Compared to any other AI. But most of the people who's using for business purposes and task oriented, say ChatGPT is like none other. And even me when creating ads and so forth, ChatGPT is amazing, right? But you can't rely on them, because I'm using like about 10 different AI, and sometimes I ask certain questions, and they all give me all different answers. That is so frustrating. Like for example, you want to know what's the how to perform a certain a mudra, for example, a hand gesture, right, for meditative postures, and they each of the five different AI gave me five different methods. That was so frustrating. And then you have to double check with YouTube, and YouTube only on the 20th try you getting the right one, right? And you're not sure if it's the right one as well. So, using different AI also, just as a warning from my side, right? Don't just use it as something as like a brainstorming or a sounding board or to get ideas, but you must take responsibility for the decisions yourself. Do not ever blame AI gave you this answer. You have to verify everything, especially if something important, right? Business related or life related, and you can't take advice from them and take medications and make your own concoctions and therapies from them. You have to double check with a qualified professional, right? So coming back to the similarities between AI and mantra, so similarly, the why 33 million is this 33 million aspects that they decided. Maybe you'll need help in money, maybe you need help for education, maybe you want to go a higher level in education, maybe you want fame in politics, you want to win politics, or you want to be number one in politics, maybe you got protection from enemies, or maybe you want to be like always immune, and a different mantra, like different variations of the same task, but variations. There can be 100 different variations, 100 different variations of mantras as well, and a different form for each one, right? That they have specific result. It's not like a person that can come and talk to you casually on generally everything, right? So it's designed and created for a specific power and a specific purpose, like how the AI is designed. There's some like a general AI. There's also some general mantras that can be more conversational on more matters, right? But they limit it to those powers only, and should not be taken as like you know um, like another human being, a whole person. They got limitations, although they are of higher frequencies, and some of them are from very high levels and very high powers, and some, especially the Tantra and the Mahavidyas and so forth, right? You get whose powers no one can even fathom or imagine, right? The depth of the powers and so forth, but they not God, right? They're very highly empowered beings, and they are that type of animal, right? Like you get different types of energy. You get the small direct current from a small pen light battery to a nuclear plant, right? That can fry an entire country, right? So like that, you get different types of mantras for different purposes, and be careful with them. And now you can do everything. You can learn all the information from multiple sources online. And a very interesting angle that specializes in mantra is tantra, right? So a person that I would recommend is I think it's called Rajeshi Nandi. Rajeshi Nandi, right? He's normally interviewed by a podcast, an Indian podcaster called the Tanveer Show, I think, the Tanveer Show. And if you search for that, he's got about 8.5 million followers and so forth. He, I think he interviewed Rajeshi Nandi was, on many aspects of Tantra, which you can learn a lot, around surrounding mantras, rules of it, and everything, and delve into it and go, gets. And books are dime a dozen, right? You can get it and experiment with some milder ones, the safer ones, in conjunction with these people, because these people are approachable and you can connect with them live, and speak to some of these people and get directives from these type of people, and utilize it, and experiment and see how it is. And because you know how AI works, why not something that was thousands of years and much superior to AI and can work better than AI, right? Can be much more beneficial than AI, and of course, 100% accurate, right? No mistake, with the mantra and the tantras, right? Like AI can be making mistakes, right? It's faultless. So, hope that information helps you. Take care of yourself always.